The creator of Who's Number One made a new one. So if you guys know,
Okay, son.
Who's Number One craze all over TikTok and YouTube.
We're gonna fix the car together. Aim the flashlight right there while I tighten that bolt.
Okay.
Your
Hi, I'm Alvin. I like to bake brownies at home, and today I'm going to be making brownies with 20 ingredients, 10 ingredients, and 2 ingredients. I think it's going to be fun to see how the ingredient amount affects the brownies, so let's get to it. First up, the 20 ingredient brownie. In this recipe, I'm starting with brown sugar, some granulated sugar.
I don't see this.
That's totally fine. Pour this onto a square baking pan, again lined with parchment paper for easy removal. And this goes into a 350-degree oven for about 25 minutes. Ingredient 1 was really interesting. It was almost like a chocolate sponge cake that was a little bit dense. The Nutella on the top definitely added some extra sugar and some extra oomph.
Roblox loves to claim they have a zero-tolerance policy towards exploitation taking place on their platform. But the reality is, when it actually matters, they always look the other way. I send them emails after.
Try 3 lives. Let's make this quick.
This tree is floating.
Playing hard to get? You're not getting away that easy. Here's a gift. Unnecessary, really. Playing hard to get ashes to ashes.
guess I better find the drop box. And one to grow on. Nothing to see here. What do you mean this lane is closed? Now it is. Get down! Here, catch.
Want to see everyone buy post? This is released before.
Go see Vince. I was pretty hungover yesterday, but I think I remember where I work.
Nothing personal.
Who's with me? Score some cash. Excellent. This is a stick-up!
Yeah, you have to get that.
Code. Get back here! Quit it.
Oh, hey, my name is Earthlord. I'm a random dude from Canada that just so happens to own one of the most valuable accounts on Roblox. But let's slow down a sec. You might be wondering, how'd you get so rich and handsome and famous? Well, why do I have just got slag spike.
Hey, over here.
I was 12 years old, and just so happened to be a huge fan of Flamingo at the time, but one of his videos in particular really struck my curiosity. A video about giving away free Dominuses in a game called Trade Hangout. At the time, I knew nothing about trading, and I'm guessing you probably don't either, so I'll have to explain it. If a player owns a Roblox Creative Limited, they can essentially trade that limited for other people's limiteds, as long as both people have Roblox Premium. For example, I might ask to trade you my Black Iron Commando for your Big Head. Although over the years, trading has become a lot more advanced than the average person might think. A site called Rollymons actually assigned individual values to many items in game, which makes Roblox trading a lot more complicated, but also a lot more accessible. Anyway,
I see him. Kill him. Back in blood. Here's a gift. Still. Stop. Oh, right in the kisser. I hear them. Be ready. You won't get far with this. Playing hard to get. Gotcha. Oh, that's gonna hurt you.
That's what you get for touching that.
You're mine. Not running. Ah, forget.
Anyways, I'm not gonna go super in detail about it because there is too much to explain, and I'm like very lazy, so back to the story. 12-year-old me later joined Trade Hangout, curious about how trading worked, and fortunately, I bought two limiteds earlier, the blue Friendly Trusting Smile and the Noob Attack Laser Sight. At this point, I had no clue trading would make me rich, and I just did it for fun. I wandered around for a couple hours until I ran into someone who wanted to trade me. He wanted to give his Black Iron Commando for my blue Friendly Trusting Smile, and at the time I had no clue if this was a good deal or not, but I chose to accept it, not knowing that I just made one of the biggest decisions of my life. And from there onward, I became addicted to Roblox trading, and no, I'm not exaggerating. 12-year-old Earthlord was spent entire days on Trade Hangout, and eventually I got the hang of things. I started making trades where I gained hundreds or even thousands of Robux at a time, and of course, I would spend it all in Bloxburg. Life was good, and after trading for a while, I hit a total value of 10k Robux, and decided to quit. Although, that's not where this ends. But before we get into that, check this out. Have you ever wanted to give me your money? Well, now you can. Introducing all new Earthlord channel members. My hands. I was 13 years old and it was Christmas break, aka the time for me to sit in my basement and trade all day. When I returned to Trade Hangout, my inventory was now worth 14k Robux, and after a week of trading, it was worth 21k, and another week it was worth 26k, and another week after that, it was worth 34k. You get the idea. I was really starting to understand how to make profit off trading. I'd give people items they want, and in return, I'd take items worth more from them. I eventually got one of my favorite items from back then, catching snowflakes, and that same day, I tried to quit. I thought I'd be satisfied with that item for the rest of time. Notice how I said I tried to quit. That's because I literally couldn't. I even remember messaging one of my friends back then that I was quitting, and I really did try. But something about trading drew me back in. I don't know what it was, but I just couldn't get enough of it. So just a few days later, I was back in Trade Hangout, trading just like usual. It's the start of 2021 now, and I finally reached my first huge milestone. My inventory was now worth a total of 100,000 Robux. And 4 months later, I hit 1 million value, at only 14 years old. Now I know it seems like I just skipped over a lot, and well, that's because it just really isn't all that exciting. I could spend days going through each and every trade that got me to 1 million value, but nobody wants to see that. So let's just shorten it down to this. I would spend hours server hopping Trade Hangout, and sending out trades to pretty much every person in the server. I'm talking probably over 100 trades a day, where I would make small profit, and eventually some people would accept those trades. Eat, sleep, trade, repeat. That was the strategy that got my inventory to 1 million value. And after I hit 1 million value, the year went insanely well. Since I had so many different items to trade, it was easy to make profit with them. And by the end of 2021, I was at 3 million value. This is also around the time that I started making trading content on YouTube, which is still on my other channel. Obviously, the trading videos did not work out that well, which is why I'm making videos like these, I guess. But around this time, everything was working out. It was all sunshine and rainbows. But in 2022, something happened that really slowed down my progress. High school. All that free time I had on my hands before was taken up by homework, and I just couldn't keep up with trading and school at the same time, is what I would say if I was more responsible. But instead, I kept trading, and by the time grade 11 was finished, I had doubled my value over the school year, and I still kept up pretty well with my homework. At this point, Roblox trading had become a part of my everyday routine. But on July 20th, 2023, Roblox released an update that would make trading a lot harder, the trade hold. Essentially, before this update, you could trade as much as you wanted every day, and immediately trade items that you had just gotten. But this update made it so you had to wait 2 days before you could trade any new item. And as you could imagine, this slowed down trading a lot, and it changed it forever. A ton of people quit, and a lot of new traders had a hard time profiting, but I kept going through it all. By the end of grade 11, I had 8 million Robux. Not as good a profit as before, but it was still pretty solid. I won't bore you by going through all my trading journey because it's pretty simple. I trade every day for profit, and eventually it stacked up over time. If you you're curious, I've completed somewhere near 2,000 trades. So let's fast forward a little bit to August 8th, 2025, the day I'm writing this script. Wow, I just broke the fourth wall, I know. Crazy. I'm now worth 16.5 million Robux. The past year, even though I haven't traded a ton, I've still made a lot more profit than ever before, because I ended up investing in the right items at the right time. Now that I'm 18 years old, I focus a lot more on my real life, like traveling. I was lucky enough to go to Japan this summer, and it was really cool. And of course, doing stuff I love, like YouTube. And I got into university for business. But who knows? Maybe I'll still find a way to keep trading on Roblox after all. But I want to make it clear that I didn't make this video as a way to rub it in your face that I'm rich on Roblox. I want to make it because obviously it's good content, but I also want
As of 100 days ago, I got my first drawing tablet, and I started doing digital art for the first time. I wasn't a big traditional art enthusiast, so I never really had any drawing experience before getting the tablet. Now, this wasn't just an impulse buy. To an extent. Earlier this year, I picked up a summer class for digital animation, and a tablet was highly recommended. What? How did that even? I did get it early.
I was just saying that because, like, they were beside the killer when he was like AFK, and I wasn't. And that's what you get for touching that. Let's see if I can find the fucking video.
Now that was close! I feel like every bone in me body's broke. Ah! Shoot that bomb!
Oh god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Son of a cussing password! And that's what you get for touching that!
Are you freaking kidding me? This is all your fault!
You are all
Bro.
For two reasons. One, I needed to learn some art before my summer class because animation requires you to be able to draw. And second, I needed to find my art style. Now, everyone technically has an art style. You could go draw right now and whatever banger you cook up will be your own and in your art style, but I was looking for something, a style, a thing that would make my art more meaningful to me. Make me proud of what I just spent hours on. So I embarked on a journey. I drew every day for 40 days straight in a quest to find my art style. And I'm gonna go over each day so you could see how I eventually found the treasure that is my art style. And my voice cracked, I'm gonna freak out. Day 1, I re-recorded the catastrophe joke like 5 times.
The man broke, the man he a joke, so you gotta get loose with the Henny and the Coke. The date is October 17th, 2024. A mysterious video titled Version 1 is uploaded by a channel named Rochez313. It's of a Roblox player with the same name touring his new place. But what he doesn't realize is that something is growing, or in other words, a spreading living parasite within his Roblox game. This channel has 14 videos in total, ranging from really long to really short, so we're in for a real treat with this channel. Let's not waste any time with this introduction. Let's begin with the first entry. The video starts with Rochez313 on an empty map. He begins the introduction to the video. He says hello, his name, and he mentions that this is a tour of his brand new game that him and his friend Cappy0 have been working on. I put quotations on working on because there's barely anything in the game. He mentions that this game is a work in progress, but he shows us the things in the game now. For example, a house with nothing in it, a garden, and a campsite with seats that don't work. Like always, the first video doesn't have much content in it. It just introduces us to the main character. Rochez asks people in the comments to tell him what he should put in the game. He should add some trees. This video introduces the person mentioned in the last video, Cappy0. As we can see, the two of them have updated the game since the last entry. And look, they added tree. Cappy0 mentions, as we already know, they've worked on the game since the last entry, and here's what they've added. They added something inside the house, they updated the camp, which the seats are still glitched. The video ends with Cappy0 stating, "We are still making it as cool as possible so we can release it to you guys." In the description of the video, we get some information of the two of them. He apologizes if they misspell certain words because English isn't their first language. That's cool. After that, it's the end of the video.
Sentry down!
This video is filmed without Cappy. The reason is because he's sick, as mentioned in the description. They didn't seem to add much to the game. They added a lemonade stand and a cool dock over a small pond. The last thing that Rochez mentions is this empty area of the game, asking us what he should put here. But when he says this, something weird happens. This video has subtitles. When he says this, a hexadecimal code shows up. It translates to a YouTube video link. The YouTube video link takes us to an unlisted video, which is the next entry on the channel. Looking at the video's description, it has the same date as the last video. This means that it happened at the same time. We get proof of this once we glance to the left side of the screen. We see Rochez filming his intro for version 3. This video is very creepy. It has weird audio playing in the background.
I see him. Kill him. Dead on! Who designed this place? You were hardly worth the effort.
He begins to type in chat. Hello YouTube, today I'm going to make a tour of the second version of the house.
Bite my shiny metal
Stop it! I don't like this! I want my daddy!
Bite my shiny metal ass. Bite my shiny metal ass.
Daddy!
Bite my shiny metal ass. Bite my shiny metal ass.
Bite my shiny metal
Stop
ass.
it! I don't like this! I want my daddy!
Bite my shiny metal ass. Bite my shiny metal ass.
Daddy!
Bite my shiny metal ass. Bite.
Bite my shiny metal ass.
Let this be a lesson to not mess with the Sonalinos. Do you actually think that you can defeat me?
It's raining.
Stop. Congratulations, you won. Stop. Do you actually think that you can defeat me?
It's raining.
You want to be a part of the Forsaken X Die of Death collab? You have to be submerged in cement! What?
That's gonna be sore tomorrow. Nothing to see here. And one to grow on. What do you mean this lane is closed? Now it is.
Who is Dignity? In
Close
2009, he was just a builder on Roblox and one of the top forum posters. What made him infamous was a custom audio exploit he made for fun, a whole 4 years before user audio came out. This would be put in a game called Dignity's Music Uploader, which would quickly get him terminated as one of the songs had profanity. He would gain even more notoriety in 2012 after his account compromised, along with exaggerated rumors of his ties with 1X, Scene, and Noli. Subscribe, cause now you know. Who is Dignity? In 2009, he was just a builder on Roblox and one of the top forum posters. What made him infamous was a custom audio exploit he made for fun, a whole 4 years before.
Tips and tricks for Noli. You can cancel Void Rush right before a Sentinel tries to stun you, or if a guest 1337 tries to block your Void Rush. You should use Void Rush at the start of a round to gain distance and possibly hit survivors, because Void Rush cooldown is very short. If a survivor is looping you, you can use Nova on the object that they are looping around you with to make the hitbox massive and hit the survivor. Use Nova below a survivor on an edge to get them to fall down. Thanks for watching. Tips and tricks for Noli.
Daddy, can you come over? I'm feeling extra freaky today.
Oil up, I'll be there in 10 minutes.
I just caught your ass in 4K.
Oh, fuck. You're Emily's husband, right?
Yeah, that's me. 5th world's strongest man. 6'8" tall and 12 inches.
12 inches what?
You know what? And I'm gonna guess you're the lil guy that she's been cheating on me with?
Yeah?
Well, listen up, lil bro. I know everything. I know where you guys meet, how long you've been talking, what you guys do, and even how long you last. When I say everything, I mean everything. But I do have a couple questions for you.
Wait, I just want to say I'm really sorry, man. I didn't think this moment would ever come, but please don't hurt me. I promise I won't ever do it again.
Just let me talk.
No, I'm really, really sorry, dude. Just please don't fuck me up. I'll give you money. 10K? 30?
I don't need your money, lil bro. Just let me talk already.
I swear I didn't even know she had a husband until after hitting like 16 times. But by then I was way too invested to care. Plus, I couldn't say no to that Grip Reaper. She said you spent 2 years in prison for committing murder. Is that true?
I mean, yeah, but I'm not gonna hurt you.
Do you actually think you can defeat?
Tyrone, please. I have a family and kids. You wouldn't want them to grow up without a father like you did, would you?
Oh my god, just let me talk.
Sorry, sir. Go on.
I'm not mad that you've been sleeping with her. In fact, it's kinda cool, and it takes some serious balls to go behind my back like this. But I just have one question. Can I watch next time?
Daddy, can you come over? I'm feeling extra freaky.
Huntrix accused of using AI, K-pop Demon Hunters has huge drama right now. All because this one person on Twitter accused Huntrix songs like Golden being made by AI. Yeah, it's dumb, but that tweet somehow went viral and got 12 million views. Thankfully, Zoe's singing voice, Ray Ami, clapped back saying, EJ, Audrey Nuna, and I are not AI. Are you dumb? Like if you agree with Zoe. The Huntrix accused of using AI, K-pop Demon Hunters.
Extremely simple video today. We're going to be seeing what happens when you tase a gibbable Ford. Will he explode? Will he be fine? Will you use code NARSE for 10% off anything on the Meta store? Okay, that last one's not related, but let's see. Okay, he was fine. Never mind. Extremely simple video today. We're going to be seeing what happens when you tase a gibbable Ford. Will he explode? Will he be fine?
Can you open this?
No.
Come on, Dad, you're Manimal! Turn into a bear or something!
I am Manimal, master of the secrets that divide man from animal, animal from man, but bears don't have fingers or thumbs, so I wouldn't be able to open it anyway.
Could you at least try?
Chase, this needs to get to the FedEx office fast.
Why don't you turn into a cheetah or something, race it down there? And cheetahs are the fastest animal alive, but how do you expect a cheetah to carry that giant box?
It's Tuesday at 8:30.
Honey, how about we do it normally this time?
If I wanted to do it normally, I wouldn't have married goddamn Manimal!
This isn't fun for me!
Say it like a horse! Can you open this?
No.
YouTube just did one of the most evil things I've ever seen a website do, and it might genuinely kill the entire platform. See, for the past couple months, a lot of social media sites and even some countries have been doing everything they can to censor as much of the internet as possible. With YouTube in particular, using AI to track every single video you watch in order to decide if you're a child
どうした ほらどうした
This video is sponsored by Skillshare. Hey kids, now we all know that fate is a fickle thing. Some of us may try to defy its will, but there's enough small businesses with Pizza Hut roofs out there to tell you that such a thing is ultimately futile. As for most of us, we tend to have our fair share of good and bad luck throughout our lives. But every now and then, RN Jesus smiles upon some drooling little loaf child and says, "You, my son, you shall be the one."
I think I've found Roblox's most interesting developer. Red Carcal123 has a total of 35 games, and today we're going to be playing some of them. But before we begin, I want to thank my channel members, Carsweet, Aranda Max, Scorpion, Some Guy, Tokiyami, Atlas, Star, You've Been Bamboozled, Super Gamers, and Becky. Thank you.
There's a delicious sauce going on right behind, isn't there? Yay! I can smell it. Well, that's gonna make it kind of hard to focus, but
if you sneeze and I say God bless you, the only thing you should say is thank you. I don't need to hear all of this. How did you get in my house? Why is my window broken? I'm calling the police. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Roblox was released in 2006, so clearly the most obvious place to start in the timeline of today's topic is 1992. Japanese company Enterbrain released the first iteration of their game development software RPG Maker, created to make game development accessible and relatively cheap for simpletons like me, with a prepackaged Dream Game is a Yume Nikki fan game that was made by Vertical Ascent of the group Epic Department in 2020, and when it comes to the contents of this game, Dream Game is absolutely massive. The majority of Yume Nikki fan games, Roblox related or not, follow the exact same gameplay loop as the original game. Go to sleep, leave your apartment that would be worth $5k a month in New York, enter a Nexus-like area, and go into one of 12 dream worlds. Dream Game differs from this formula by throwing you into an expansive map called Windy Island, where you have a giant house to explore. When you go to sleep, instead of entering the Nexus, you'll be transported to one of 6 random surface dreams, which contain their own sublevels called depth dreams and abyssal dreams. To be forced into a specific dream, you can find 6 main codes hidden within the starter house, each corresponding to their own dream. These are called pawn codes. When you go outside, you can input these codes by changing the color of these pawns to correspond
Mm-hmm.